right now on Up with KREM. We are tracking a 10-year-old boy and his dad who were hit by a drunk driver in Lewiston.
My greatest fear as a parent really kicked in.
A KREM 2 News exclusive. We talked to the dad about the good news surrounding the family's recovery.
And a 3-day-long gathering in Republic, Washington is now being called a coronavirus super spreader event.
We are already seeing people showing up at the hospital within that first week.
Patient 0 was traced back to a recruiting event for the Eagles Club. Now Ferry County is seeing a spike in COVID cases.
The Panhandle Health District is offering mobile vaccines to businesses in North Idaho. Those details are coming up right here on Up with KREM.
And it's a little bit cloudy as we kick off the day, but don't worry, those clouds don't really affect our temperatures as we head into the afternoon.
Up with KREM begins now.
For all transgender Americans watching at home, especially young people, you're so brave. I want you to know your president has your back.
During President Biden's first address to Congress, he gave that message to LGBTQ youth.
He said he hopes Congress will bring the Equality Act to his desk, which would add protections to sexual orientation and gender identity. Coming up, we'll hear from a Tacoma teen who got to speak with the First Lady about transgender rights before the president's address. Well, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us here on Up with KREM on a Thursday morning. Hope you grabbed your cup of coffee, maybe an iced coffee, Jeremy, today? No? Still a warm coffee day?
I don't know why I can't start my day with iced coffee, but as soon as I get past that first little bit, then iced for sure today.
But today might be an iced drink kind of day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As we head into the afternoon, temps are on the rise. Dana Marie, get your ice out because you're gonna want it. All right, she says she's ready. Early on this morning, you can see it's not necessarily full-on sunshine, but it's not necessarily full-on cloudy. That's kind of where we'll sit for a good portion of the day. It's those high-level clouds that are fighting the ridge of high pressure overhead. It's an atmospheric battle. I always love talking about these because oftentimes silently around us is a big fight between nice weather and nasty weather. And here we sit in Spokane with clouds overhead, and it's that same kind of cloudy haze everywhere you go. Don't let all those sunshines fool you, but temperatures are in the 50s. It is a mild morning. Now, for me, it's still right around that temp where I'm going to want a warm coffee this morning. But by this afternoon, I am telling you, it is going to be warm enough. You're going to want that iced coffee. We got a ridge of high pressure. That's going to help build our temperatures. We got a little bit of cloud cover, and that's not really going to do much. And here's how it plays out. Say 70 degrees is your magic number, noon. You'll be drinking iced coffee by noon. Say 75 is your magic number. You'll be drinking iced coffee by 2 p.m. Say 80 is your magic number, not today. Unless you're in central Washington where you will be in the 80s. For us here in Spokane, we top out at 77 degrees later on. Not all that bad.
Not a blur, it's a constant reminder every time when I try to close my eyes.
Last week, a driver hit this Lewiston dad and his 10-year-old son, Philip. The boy was riding his bike in the street when the car sped down the neighborhood road.
Well, the boy's dad says the driver eventually saw him and slammed on the brakes, leaving skid marks behind, but the car didn't stop in time.
It knocked Chris into a parked car, then flipped him into the air. Chris got up, he saw the car drive off and his son lying on the ground.
My greatest fear as a parent really kicked in when I saw my son laying there. Not moving, not responsive.
An ambulance took Philip to St. Joseph's Regional Medical Center with a skull fracture. And we are happy to report, though, this morning that today he is awake and is recovering. Chris only suffered a minor leg and back injury.
As for the driver, police eventually found and arrested 20-year-old Keaton Brown, and he's facing multiple charges, including 2 counts of hit and run and felony aggravated driving under the influence.
Yeah, if we can get everybody vaccinated, we're going to be able to have very close to a completely normal kind of academic experience.
All students and staff at Washington State University will be required to get the COVID-19 vaccine to be on campus this fall. People can get medical, personal, or religious exemptions, but they do need to provide proof. The vaccine requirement starts on August 6th, 2 weeks before the fall classes begin. WSU is the state's first public university to make that call.
Here's what other colleges in the Inland Northwest are doing. Gonzaga University is expected to make the decision in the next coming week with conjunctions with partners like Spokane Regional Health District. The University of Idaho will not require coronavirus vaccines, but will strongly encourage it. Community colleges in Spokane said in a statement that, quote, leaders have no plan to make vaccinations mandatory for our students in the fall. Whitworth University, they've not yet made a decision, but is expected to soon. Eastern Washington University also has not made a decision yet. We're still waiting to hear back from North Idaho College. So for a full list of what other university and colleges are doing in our area, you could text the word vaccine at 509-448-2000. We'll send the information straight to your phone.
Here's 3 things to know about the coronavirus this morning. First, the Panhandle Health District is offering mobile vaccine teams for North Idaho businesses. The mobile teams will visit businesses and organizations who have at least 20 people in need of the vaccine. They'll be giving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to employees and their families. For more information about a mobile vaccine team coming to your business, you can call the number there on your screen. That's 208-415-5226. That number is also on KREM.com.
Second, health officials say a spike in coronavirus cases in Ferry County have been traced back to a recruiting event at the Eagles Club the weekend of April 9th. Since then, the infections have reached far into this community. The bank even had to shut down early and bring in temporary employees. One of the only grocery stores in town also had limited capacity. Even court cases are being delayed.
There's been 95 people that have tested positive since that event.
And we were already seeing people showing up at the hospital within that first week, which we hadn't seen a COVID positive patient that was ill for, several weeks to months prior to that.
The Tri-County Health Department said these numbers will continue to rise, and they fully expect cases to spread to outlying communities as a result. Coming up on KREM 2 News at 6 tonight, Whitney Ward went to Republic to investigate the spike in cases.
The CDC is now saying that they told our vaccine team, 8% of people in the U.S. did not return for their second COVID shot. That's more than 5 million people, and it's twice the rate that skipped their second shot when the data was first collected in mid-February. Well, health experts say there could be several reasons for people skipping that second shot, from side effect concerns to thinking the first shot offers enough protection. In his first address to Congress last night, President Biden said America is coming out of the coronavirus pandemic stronger than before.
But South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who delivered the Republican response, said the president is working without reaching across the aisle.
The actions of the president and his party are pulling us further and further apart.
One moment of bipartisanship came when President Biden called for a new health agency to fight diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, and diabetes.
And still to come this morning on Up with KREM, an Idaho police officer has gone viral for posting this TikTok in response to a tweet from LeBron James.
So you don't care if a black person kills another black person, but you do care if a white cop kills a black person, even if he's doing it to save the life of another black person.
Our sister station in Boise talked with the cop himself about why this TikTok was posted.
And we're going to take you outside, talk a warm day ahead, and what that means as we all look forward to the weekend.
But first, a Tacoma teen was invited to speak with the First Lady, Jill Biden, about transgender rights.
I had no idea that I would be making history as the youngest transgender person to ever testify before the U.S. Senate.
We'll hear more of what she had to say coming up.